G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. So I thought I'd do a quick update on what's happening around the little tiny farm at the moment. That thing beside the statue is the pigeon pea. You'll remember I planted 2 of them. And if I can zoom in, you can see there's pods on, which is great. The second pigeon pea is over there. So you can see I have been harvesting, so I take the peas out of the pods, put them in a bowl, let them dry, and eventually they go like that. And I use them like lentils, exactly the same way you use a dried lentil, which seems to be working pretty damn well. But I'll show you what else we're harvesting currently. So it's obviously citrus time over here. We've got kumquats on, not a massive crop, but I don't need that many if the truth be known. They'll get turned into kumquat jello. Not sure if you'll be able to see all those little native bees flying around. Last couple of days they've been going nuts, so I have in fact built a couple of more bee boxes. I've just got to paint them, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to do a split probably on the, looks like they're swarming from the new hive. There's those little bee boxes I was saying I was building, and there's the gloves I use to hold the perch when I'm scaling them, because geez, they're slippery. We've got a number of passion fruit on, quite a few. Haven't started eating them yet, they're not ripe, but they'll be on in the next little while. We'll be tucking into them. Continuing the citrus theme, the ruby grapefruits have gone really well. Got a good crop of them this year. You can see there's still some on, so we're not finished yet. Past the old workbench. The mandarins produced quite a few mandarins. That little tiny tree, you wouldn't read about it, would you? Didn't get any limes. The lemonade has produced a few more flowers again. I actually got a good crop off that a couple of months ago. He seemed to be before everything else. You can see probably on the tree behind there's a couple of lemons. That's a Lisbon lemon. Should have got a Meyer lemon, Andy, because they produce a lot more fruit, and pretty much fruit all year round over here. So I'll just mention, I'm showing you the aquaponics. I'm down to 3 fish now. They're reasonably sized, but I started 3 years ago with 25 fingerlings. Now when it gets real cold, we've been below 10, which a lot of people wouldn't think is real cold, but it's cold for us. The perch don't do very well, so I've actually had to throw a heater in there, and I've had 2 perch in the last 2 weeks. So that's going well. The plan is I might run those fellas. I'll probably eat them soon too, because I want to be able to restock next season. Quails are as good as gold. They're still producing, out of the 3 cages, I'm pretty much getting a dozen eggs a day, which is pretty good for the middle of winter. I'm only getting about 1 from the chickens. So I'm just wandering past the kitchen going out the other side. We've been getting cherry tomatoes. There's a couple of kumquats. That's one of the mandarins. I'm also drying pumpkin seeds. I'm going to bake them in the oven with a bit of seasoning to see if I can get something good out of them. We're getting gooseberries, I think I mentioned that. Little Sadie, my granddaughter, loves them. There we're getting chilies again, so there's them. So the Madagascar bean bush itself looks to me like it's dying, although I remember saying this a few times previously. He's about 3 or 4 years old now. I am getting a good supply of beans still, which is interesting. Got a new little herb bed in there. That's where the turmeric normally lives. What's also going, we've talked about the cherry tomatoes. Let's have a look. I think you can see quite a few on that little bush. So we're going all right with tomatoes at the moment, which is great. I've also, in anticipation and fear that I'm going to lose that Madagascar, those 2 big seedlings there, they're Madagascar beans, so I'll be able to replace him if I lose him. I've got some cherry tomatoes coming up in those front pots towards us. And behind that is capsicums, and I think I've got a couple of capsicums coming up. Now, another thing that's coming up, and I can't remember what the hell it is that guy in the back there. I reckon I'll know once it gets its true leaves. Who knows? But yeah, so seedlings, I had to move them around this side. They do no good at all on the other side. You know, that's just the winter and the seasons. So that bunch of bananas is getting pretty close to being able to be pulled off soon. So I'll take that whole tree out, and I want to reduce the number of trees over there. There's too many, and that's what slows down the actual banana production. So we'll get rid of probably two of those. I'm also really excited to show you those sprout things there. They're all garlic. I can't believe how well I've done. The elephant garlic, I didn't think it was coming up. But in fact, I reckon every single one of those bulbs that I put in came up. Remember, they're the rounds. So this is year 2 for that elephant garlic. I'm hoping to get proper cloves of garlic this year. There's some different garlic in the front here. And even again over here, there's more garlic. So I should be laughing in terms of garlic. Now, I don't know what the hell's happening with the seasons, but you can probably see that pomegranate. That's what that thing, the sticks in the middle of the screen is. The bloody pomegranate's shooting as if it's spring. We haven't had the winter solstice yet. Bloody hell. And I guess the final thing I'll leave you with, of course, is the herbs are an all year round harvest. Even though I normally do the cooking, Rosie's cooking a big leg of lamb tonight, and she's flavoured it with our own rosemary. How good is that? Right, folks, well, you have a good one, eh? See ya.